Hi there, I'm John Shields, and welcome to another episode of Chesapeake Farm and Bay to Table. Today's class, in case you've been counting, is the 6th and final episode of our 2nd season. So I think that milestone deserves a major party, don't you? It's May and it's springtime. And kind of everywhere you look, there are parties going on. You know, it could be a graduation, the Preakness, the opening of the backyard deck, whatever. And throwing a proper springtime party, it doesn't need to cause a whole lot of concern or anxiety. So we thought that today's episode might be the perfect opportunity to show you how to put together, kind of a simple party to all your friends and family. And to do that, I contacted one of my bestest girlfriends in the world, Andrea Farnum, AKA the Kitchen Goddess, from my public television series, Coastal Cooking. Now, the goddess isn't here with us. She resides now in Portland, Oregon, but she continues to throw amazing parties and is the absolute hostess with the mostest. And then I pressed my dear friends, Shannon and Jim Egan, to throw a party so that we might all delve into the whole party throwing process from start to finish. Now, of course, we're going to be guided by the Kitchen Goddess. Then this is at a kind of post Cinco de Mayo locavore party. And we're going to watch Chef John Carroll of John Carroll and Sons Fine Foods put together a festive taco bar, complete with fish tacos, chicken tacos, and even jackfruit tacos as a vegan option. With all the accoutrement, of course, we wouldn't do anything but. Then our executive sous chef, AKA CEO of Harford County Public Libraries, Mary Hassler, and I will demo the complete Rockfish tacos ensemble from sauces to salsa. And then we'll throw together some fruit skewers that are party perfect. Andrea will then finish up our show from Portland, Oregon, as she crafts our party's signature cocktail. Yeah, you got to have a signature cocktail, for God's sake, the Strawberry Paloma. So get on your party outfit as we venture off for one unbelievable springtime party. Oh, wait a minute. We got to get Andrea, the Kitchen Goddess, on the line. Now I got the goddess phone here. Hello, goddess, is that you? Well, thank God. I told you we're planning to throw a party. And, I was thinking about it. I couldn't think of a better person to get all the ins and outs of that party planning, how we're going to decorate and execution, et cetera, et cetera. So, goddess, what should we do?
Hello, Johnny. Hey, I'd be happy to help you with some party tips. Let me put you on the princess speakerphone. So Shannon's having a party and needs help. Well, you came to the right girl. First thing I would suggest is to go shopping in Shannon's house. Literally, just start going through her cabinets and her closets and look to see what she has that you can use for serving pieces. And keep a discerning eye. Look for things that you might not normally use for things. Things can be multi-purpose. For instance, if you don't have a cooler, you could easily use a wheelbarrow to ice up your beer and soft drinks. A piece of slate works great as a cheese display. And one thing that's usually a throwaway item are oyster shells. I like to save them. I like to soak them in a little bleach and water, and then I run them through my dishwasher for good measure. And they can be used as sauce containers, votive candles, look lovely at outdoor parties, seafood parties, look fantastic. And also can be used as individual salt cellars for more of a formal dinner. Next, as far as decor, is flowers. And flowers can be pricey, but this is spring, and if you're lucky enough to have a yard, there's probably enough in that yard to decorate your table. So flowering tree branches make great centerpieces. Many of the stores now have blooming perennials. So buy 2 or 3, you can cluster them together on your dining room table, cover the pots with either a cloth or some more greenery, and then you can re-gift them or repot them. Another trick I like to use is an old Martha Stewart one where you just get fresh herbs. Some of you have fresh herbs growing in your garden. You can cut them and make small little bouquets that you can tie with real ribbon or a chive ribbon. Keep them in the refrigerator in some damp paper towel. And then when you're ready to serve, you just plop them on your platters and it just gussies everything up and dresses it up. And they're still usable after that. So that's another great tip. But as far as decor and parties, to me, one of the most important things is lighting. Overhead lighting can sometimes be a party killer, especially at night. So you want to try to avoid it. You know, really, overhead lighting is not good for events, just maybe surgical events, but not regular events. So we want to try to dim that down. Everyone looks better. Everyone's more relaxed with low lighting. So the first way that you can get great ambiance from lighting is votive candles. The more the merrier. They look festive. People love them. If you're not a fan of the flame, there are tons of battery operated votives available. Large candles too, they're commonly available. But one lighting tip that everybody needs to know is that it's really not a party without twinkle lights. So you're going to get your twinkle lights in. Those are also sold battery operated, and you want to put them around your buffet table, your bar, just add sparkle to everything. So those are your tips, Johnny. Get going.
So while Andrea was on the line, I snuck in our executive sous chef,
Oh, it's so good.
Mary Hassler. How you doing?
I'm doing awesome. And it's party night.
It's
and I see
party.
some of my favorite things.
And so Andrea gave us an earful.
She did.
An absolute earful. She told us all kinds of things that we need to do to throw a simple party. And, you know, I think it shouldn't be all that terribly difficult. So I think what we should do, and all of you at home should do, let's go over to Shannon and Jim Egan's and let's see how we get this party started. Darn, rain on our party day. Time for plan B. First things first. So let's set up the bar and get the signature Paloma cocktail dispenser in working order. Munchies and appetizing bites are essential, and we have a great selection of locavore treats from Charlottetown Farm, Broom's Bloom Dairy, Dimitri Olive Oil, and Atwater's Bakery. After getting our marching orders and party tips from Andrea, the kitchen goddess, Shannon Egan and I begin the party setup. Let there be lights. Great idea from Andrea, using oyster shells and votive candles. And dazzle them with twinkle lights. Battery-powered strands are perfect for decorating the buffet table. It's a razzle-dazzle effect. Get out into the yard and snip some wildflowers and decorative shrubbery to brighten up the table and the room. Think of it as your Martha Stewart moment. Food time, and our food wizard, Chef John Carroll, is on hand to prepare an amazing taco buffet, complete with handmade masa harina tacos and local rockfish. We're putting it all out now and displaying our south of the border feast. Just in time as our guests begin to arrive for our post Cinco de Mayo spring party. Uh-oh, surprise! Mary, that was quite the party, wasn't it?
It was, and we even got to celebrate your birthday.
That was
Happy
a
birthday.
surprise. It got me right at the end. Like,
Oh,
oh my
well, you
God.
deserved it. And you only cried a little bit when the cake came out.
I know.
Just teasing.
Just a little bit. So, but anyway, you know, one of the cool things about it, I don't know, you know, this past weekend, we did not have the best weather. You know, it rained. And one of the things that the kitchen goddess and Andrea tells us, you gotta have a plan B. And that's what we did. And we did that with Shannon so that we were able to bring everything inside. The flow was really, really nice for that. And they also had a great basement so that more guests could go downstairs, play board games. And, you know, so you have to be flexible whenever you're going to have these. We always have the idea in our head, oh, it's going to be a perfect day. It's going to be beautiful. And then, oh my God.
A nor'easter comes roaring up the coast.
Exactly.
So,
but we did it.
We
and,
did.
And it was a great time. And you can do the exact same thing. So Mary and I thought, well, let's, you know, roll back a little bit and see what we did kind of at the party and give you a little bit more of the specifics on that. As you saw, first thing I did, I got the bar set up, you know.
Yes, you did.
I don't think about anything else. I said, oh, let's get the bar set up. But then next you want to do is you want to have your snacks all ready to go. So, you know, there's many different kind of spring parties and ours kind of morphed into a extended Cinco de Mayo party, but we tried to make it sort of a locavore Cinco de Mayo party. So we did that, and we tried to do that initially with a lot of the snacks. So we got a pimento cheese that is absolutely wonderful from Charlottetown Farm.
And they raved about that.
Yeah,
I
people,
heard so many comments
people went
about
crazy.
that.
We went
They
through
did.
a lot of that.
Yes.
And then we got some of these crackers. They're rye crackers that Atwater's Bakery is making. And they go so nicely with the pimento cheese. And also at Broom's Bloom, we got a camembert.
Ooh.
And so, you know, you put out different, you know, wedges of cheeses and the crackers. And, you know, I love Dimitri olive oil.
Yes, you do.
And so young Dimitri, he gave me a whole bunch of things for us to try. This was a citrus marinated Kalamata olive. And these are these green olives with preserved lemon.
And well, this is where I hung out because I love olives and can eat them till the cows come home.
Exactly.
They were
And then
great.
this, I love this combination. It's a feta olive
Ooh.
mix with some just absolutely beautiful Greek feta. But anyway, so it gave us, I think, a really, really nice, you know, start to the whole thing. We made some guacamole, had some homemade chips, and, you know, went the whole 9 yards with that.
And you know, the nice part about this is it's local. So it was a lot of conversation about it. Like people said, where's Bloom's Broom or where's, of course, everyone knows where Atwoods is, but it's like the same type of thing.
Yeah.
Where it was a good conversation.
Exactly.
And people enjoyed eating local.
Exactly. So the other thing, I'll put this up there, and then I think you have some oyster shells.
I do. It's called How Do We Decorate? Now, I'm a big believer, and Andrea is too, is use what you have at home.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
there's so many things. So we have candles. You can use the little electric ones if you prefer, especially with dogs and children around.
Yeah.
And then tell us a little bit about the shells. Look at these.
Well, the shells are actually from Gertrude's, and we work with the Oyster Recovery Project, which recycles oyster shells, puts them back into the bay. So, you know, you have new reefs so oysters can grow. And what we did is we cleaned these, like way cleaned them, you know, with bleach and with baking soda, and ran them through. So basically what you want to do is try to get like a bottom one. These are pretty good because they're already in a little, you know, little container.
Little tin.
But if they weren't in the container, you could just take another candle and get some wax to drip. So the idea, what we want to try to do, go through and try to find ones that are flat.
This is a good one. This
That's
is a very
great
good one.
There you have a great one.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
I could actually walk across the floor with this and not drop it.
Exactly.
There you
So
go.
anyway, we just put together a bunch of candles. You can put those on the buffet table. You can put them throughout the house for the party. And as Mary said, you know, if you're afraid that the cat's going to knock it over and catch something on fire, you
Yeah.
can get little electric ones and they work really, really nicely. And you also saw that Andrea came up with that great idea of the twinkle lights, the ones that are battery powered, because you can put those anywhere. You know, you can wrap them around the ceiling fan. Shannon put them all down the buffet table, and it really gives such a great atmosphere. And these are things that are so damn easy to do, but it makes you look like a pro in entertaining.
Yes.
So
I
it
totally
was
agree.
pretty cool. And then the other thing Andrea had suggested, and I never thought about it because I always go to the store to get flowers, or I go to local color florists that use all local flowers. But she said, just go out back. It's spring. So if you're lucky enough to have a yard, or you have a neighbor who's away and you can go in and cut their stuff,
We didn't say that.
Don't do that. You know, you can just go out in the back and get lilacs and get, all kinds of beautiful flowers, or even some kind of like shrubbery things that are
Any
in
type of
bloom.
green. Yeah.
Again, you can put that all over the table or use it to decorate in so many ways. So these are all kinds of things. They're not expensive. If the goddess is anything, she's a thrifty gal, and she's always looking for ways that you can just go into your cupboards and say, oh my God, I could use this, or I could use that for that. You know, that's smart entertaining. It really is. And it's fun.
And it's fun. And and it always looks different. Every time you have a party, it's going to look a little different depending on what you pull out of your closet, out of your basement, and out of your yard.
Exactly.
So
all right, so we'll do that. We'll send that on its way. And now we're going to set up and do a little bit, as you saw in our party footage, we decided to do a taco bar.
yes.
And here comes some of our stuff for our
Some of
taco
our
bar
ingredients.
things. And again, we used as much local things as possible. John Carroll did this beautiful simmered chicken that he did with boneless chicken thighs. And then he also got some stuff, it's called jackfruit. It reminds me a little bit of hearts of palm from a textural kind of thing. It's nice and firm. You can get that in kind of health food stores. And he simmered that also in kind of some spices and a sauce. So that was a great vegan, vegetarian option to make your tacos. You know, it was a good idea. But the star of the show are the Rockfish tacos. Do you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
That's the Chesapeake. It's all good. It's all the best. And
I'm so happy Rockfish is back.
yeah, me too. Huh?
I'm so
me
happy.
too. I
It's the
really,
best.
really, really am. So anyway, here we have some of the ingredients, our basic ingredients to make a salsa fresca. So what does that mean, salsa fresca?
What does it mean?
It means fresh.
Okay.
I mean, that's really all it is. So maybe you can grab me a tomato there. A tomato there.
Any particular one?
Yeah, just
Let's
get one.
watch John pick the tomato.
I'm going to pick the tomato. That smells good. It's really, really, really nice.
Hopefully this weekend we get our plants in.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
You know, it's time to put all of our plants in, and we had to wait until after Mother's Day. And that's old, supposedly wives' tale. But boy, were they right this year, weren't they?
Yes.
They really,
I thought
really
for sure
were.
We were going to have snow if it didn't.
I know
so much rain.
it was cold.
It was cold
and rainy and windy.
and windy.
It was something. So anyway, let me get this thing out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. Sometimes what I'll do when I'm doing something like this, I'll just squeeze a little bit of the seeds out,
Now, why would you do that? So it's less juicy?
It's a little less juicy,
Okay.
and you don't have all the seeds in there. Okay. So you can just take a little bit like that. And then basically you just want to dice them. And again, it says salsa, which means, sauce fresh, salsa fresca. And so you do want to have, if you can, have the nicest tomatoes that you can find. As the summer goes on, the salsas get better and better and better.
Our local tomatoes are just amazing.
They're just so good. So, it's a real pretty, simple, straightforward. But when you can make a salsa yourself, it's like a world of difference. It really is. You want to make them daily. You don't want salsa sitting around for a really long time. mean, you could use it maybe in a soup or something afterwards, but for the best flavor,
It's fresh.
you want to have that kind of
I
almost
challenge
crispy.
everyone to do a fresh salsa this summer.
Okay, that's what they're doing.
Okay.
That's what we're going to get them to do. Let me grab a bowl here so that everyone can kind of see what it is that we're doing.
I wish
Right?
you could see John's chopping. It doesn't look like my chopping.
Really?
Oh, no.
Oh, come on.
No.
Come on. So we're just going to take some of these and put them in.
Mhm.
And just a little bit earlier, we got a little bit more already.
Okay. Now, does it matter? It looks a lighter color. Is
Yeah, it
that-
was a different
tomato.
different tomato. And
Okay.
so actually, one of the things that you can look at when you're getting tomatoes to do the salsa, the ones that I got, the vine ripened tomatoes, are pretty soft. And then I also got some other tomatoes that are a little bit more firm.
Okay.
So you get a good textural kind of thing
Good tip.
going with that. So over there, Mary, we have some salt and pepper in that little
Yes, we
ramekin
do.
thing there. So why don't you just put a little bit in
Little
there?
pinch.
Yeah, a little pinch of that.
Now, my little pinch is very different than John's, but he knows what he's doing, and I do not.
Oh, a lot of cooking is just intuitive.
It is.
Is it not?
Mhm.
It really is.
Yeah.
So we're going to use we chopped up about a half of a red onion.
That smells
So
good.
when we're looking at it, what we want it to be,
Mhm.
want to try to get it, they don't have to be minced, but you do want them to be kind of, a small dice,
Okay.
because otherwise you're going to get these big pieces
Which is what I
of
always do.
onion.
I
And
always
then,
do like something like this, and my husband will say, "Serious?"
seriously, are you kidding me?
It
Here.
does open his sinuses up, though.
It does. It wakes you up.
It
That's
does.
that's for sure.
So John is very careful with that. It's like almost like a rhythm he has cutting. So-
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just actually, you can kind of see what I do. I have a pivot point
Yeah.
here, and I'm just letting the
Like a
knife
rock, yeah.
rock,
Like a rock.
and it does most of the work. So you don't have to do a tremendous amount. So the recipe that I usually use calls for a Serrano chili.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we're not using the Serrano chili. We have a jalapeno chili.
Ooh.
Okay. Often I will bring the heat down a couple notches
Mhm.
when I have people coming and I'm not quite sure how much heat they
Yes.
like with this whole thing, because the Serrano chili is very hot.
Very.
It's very, very hot. And the jalapeno is a little bit milder.
Okay.
So what we want to do, you can do one, I'll do
Sure.
the other. You can just put it over here if
Okay.
you want. We want to take the seeds out.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, they come out pretty well.
They come out pretty
Just
easily.
don't touch your eyes after
Yeah,
you've done this.
make sure after you do this that you wash
And
your
wash
hands
your hands.
very
Okay.
well with hot soapy water, because if you don't, you're going to hurt yourself and you probably rub your eye and then it'll start crying.
So-
And the reason for that is most of the heat from a chili is in the seed,
Seed.
because they contain oil and it gets pretty hot there. So again, you can kind of master the heat level by, maybe I'm going to keep half the seeds in, or maybe
Okay.
I'm going to take all the seeds out. So then you're going to get just more of the sweeter flavor of the chili than a lot of hot. So we're not going to hurt anybody right here, right?
Good.
I think we're going to be really nice,
Okay.
and we won't hurt too many people.
Mhm. That would be very good.
That's right.
It's interesting.
I mean, it still
Has
has,
some kick to
it does have kick. So it's not like it's going to be totally mild. And then somebody say, oh, they didn't put any chilies in there. Well, yes, we did. And yes, we can still bring a tear to your eye.
But not tonight.
God darn it. That's it. There we go. See?
There you go.
And again, same kind of chop. You want to go on a finer level.
Mhm.
You don't want to mince it, but you want to have a little
Okay.
integrity, but not huge hunks of chili in your teeth. All right, we'll put that in there like so.
Mhm.
Okay. And then we have a lime. So you only need
Roll
like
your lime.
one lime.
Mhm.
So I'm laying on the lime, and this isn't, I'm not doing my exercises for the week. This is not my yoga pose. But this is actually when you're putting a little bit of weight on the lime and softening it as you roll it. See how we're like rolling that?
Mhm.
You're going to get a lot more juice out of there. So I'll just go through there and get that thing. All right. You got one. I got
Uh-huh.
one.
Now, what about the seeds? Oh, there are no
You
seeds.
won't find any.
We won't find any.
You're not going
That's
to find
right.
any in there.
Okay, we're gonna squeeze.
So these are Persian limes,
Persian limes.
like we like, right?
Yes. we
Mary
like-
and I only use Persian limes.
Yes,
Just because they're the best.
absolutely.
Now we did have a difficult time in the last months getting limes.
Oh, yes.
They've been very, very difficult
Mhm.
to procure, as
Now, are you
We're-
taking the guts out?
were avocados.
Oh, I know that avocado.
Yes.
Didn't we have a ban on those for a while?
Well, we had things
Something-
we had things happening here and
Odd
there,
things. Yes. Okay. Now, should I take this
but
stuff?
no,
out?
that's good.
Okay.
That's
all
good.
right.
You basically just want to get the juice in there. And then let's
Yes.
see. I'm gonna run this is too big. I don't like that one. I don't know how a hotel bill that got in there. So maybe
You were with me, honey.
let's look at this.
Okay.
I'm gonna just stir it up just a touch.
Okay.
Constantly taste as you're going and working on these things here. And so I'm just going to
Yeah.
taste to see.
Did I do enough on the salt? That's,
Let's do another
Yeah.
round. Ooh, Santa Regina, that pepper is, she's a
Okay.
hot, she's a spicy meatball.
Okay.
Yeah. All right,
Okay.
now
Mhm.
I have some beautiful cilantro here.
Okay.
And maybe I can use a towel. Just one
Absolutely.
second. I'm going to wipe this off just a little bit so that the cilantro doesn't stick all to everything.
Okay.
So really for the cilantro, we washed this, we shook it out
Okay.
and, get the water off, but you want it to dry again somewhat before you
Chop it.
do all your chopping.
Okay.
And cilantro is just, I love it. And it's kind of a key ingredient in the salsa. Now, some people are scared to death of cilantro, or
Why?
they say that they have allergies to it. And maybe some people do, but I think it's normally is you're just from Baltimore and you're just scared of cilantro.
I would agree because we did not grow up with
We did
cilantro.
not grow up with cilantro.
And it does
So
have a distinctive taste to
it does
Mhm.
very much so.
That's good.
However, I will give you a pass here that if you really don't like cilantro and say, oh my God, I can't eat that, just get some flat leaf parsley. It's also known as Italian parsley. And chop that up. It has a leaf that's very, very similar to the cilantro. It does have some flavor, but it's much more neutral.
Gotcha.
And those people, if Grandma Maud's coming over and you know that she cannot stand cilantro,
Cilantro.
you could take a little bit, put it on the side, and you'd be good, right?
You could. I would put this like in the bowl of water for one of my decorations and put the little fairy lights around.
That's a
There you
good
go.
idea.
Any of my herbs, I do that. Decorate them for the party.
All right, we're going to
Okay.
put that in there
Mm-hmm.
like so,
Mm-hmm.
madame. And there we are.
Looks very pretty. All right.
So if you
So
want
we
to,
stir
if you
it?
want to stir
I
that
will
up
happily.
and see how that's all
Okay.
feeling for you.
Good job.
Okay, there we
Okay.
go.
There we go. All right. This
Thank
looks
you.
delightful. Okay.
Delightful.
All
All right, well, we have a salsa ready, so we
We
can put
do.
that aside there.
Okay.
And next, ladies and
Put
gentlemen,
this-
we are going to put together an avocado cream.
avocado cream.
Because like I was saying, we were talking about guacamole and we're
Uh-huh.
talking about the avocados.
Avocados.
Well, the avocados really like the tacos. So
That almost sounds like a poem
It
in a
is.
children's book. I could do that.
It kind of is.
Mhm.
All
Okay.
right, so let's see if we have all of our ingredients ready here.
We do.
Mayor,
Look at these.
All right, we
They're
have
like
some-
perfect,
we
my
have
daughter
some-
would say.
avocado.
Okay. And something creamy. Okay.
That would be some sour cream.
Okay. And something in a little. Oh, this is cumin.
Cumin.
Oh,
All right,
Oh,
nice.
cumin.
Nice.
Awesome.
We
Okay.
have some cumin. All right, Mayor, I need your help here.
Yes, sir.
So let's go into here.
Mhm. Let
and
me pop
start-
that baby.
You pop that baby and let's get the flesh out.
Okay.
So generally, you can just run your,
Fingers.
look at that.
Look at that. These are perfectly, I don't know who, if you select these out, John, you did a great job.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You want the avocado. It's very important
do.
for it to be ripe.
You do. If not, you'll be struggling.
You certainly
Mhm.
will.
Oh, I love avocado is really good for your skin and
Uh-huh.
for your digestive system. And it's got great healthy fats that go with it.
So not
Okay.
so bad, huh?
Nope. I like it.
All right. So here we have,
Okay.
we're going to take and just do a little mashing.
Mashing.
With
And
the-
John's using a fork.
I could use a fork, or
Yeah.
if I had
Yeah.
even more sense,
My
I would-
whisk.
I'm going to go get your famous whisk out there. Let me see if I can find
Okay.
that. You could also just take
Your hands.
your hands. I mean, of course, while I'm doing this in company, I always put my
Gloves
glove
on.
on.
But you know,
But
if you were
in the
home,
home and I have my hands washed.
and it's so good for your skin, ladies. I'm
is.
just saying.
So anyway, you can see what's
Mm-hmm.
happening here. We're just taking and just gushing it all up. Gushing is a culinary term that you will find in the
They test you on that word.
culinary dictionary. All right, then we're going to need about a half a cup of sour cream,
Okay.
like so.
Okay.
There we go.
Mhm.
I'll give that
Thank you,
to
dear.
you. And then,
Mhm.
bit of- let me put some-
It does look like you're making a facial.
and
I
how,
like it.
how about a pinch of your
Cumin?
lovely cumin?
Okay, a pinch. Okay.
Okay.
Is
That's
that a
one
good
pinch.
pinch?
Let's do another pinch.
Like I said, John's pinches are much larger than my pinches.
Let's do
Okay.
one more pinch.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Now
do it.
now I'm feeling
Okay.
pinched. Now I'm feeling pinched. Okay. So Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I did a little scooping and chopping and stuff. See what you
Me
think.
too. Okay.
Does it need more salt, more of this, more of
A
that?
little bit more salt.
Put a little more
A
salt
little
in.
bit more salt.
That's why you have to taste.
I-
You just keep tasting and tasting and
Put a
tasting
whole bunch.
till you get it the way that you
Now
like.
there's little black spots. Is that because there's pepper in
There's
here?
a little pepper in there
Oh,
too.
I like it. Okay.
You like that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Can't
cool.
go wrong with pepper.
All right.
We grew up with pepper. All right. Whip this baby up.
Okay. And then I'm going to
Okay.
take it. You take that.
Okay.
I'll take this and put this right into the bowl.
All right.
And then we got our avocado cream. Now we're going to do a little bit of slaw to give it some texture. How's our slaw
Our
looking
slaw is
over here?
ready. See carrots. Really nice one. Like onion
Sure.
and slaw thing. Okay. Another lime.
Okay.
Persian lime. Okay.
Persian lime.
More green things.
Mhm,
Mhm. And
mhm.
our cilantro's back.
And cilantro's
Okay.
back. Okay, great. Now I'll put this right here. Where our salsa went, but
Our salsa?
we
It's
had
right
somebody stole our salsa.
Where's our
I
salsa?
don't know where they
It's
put
coming
it.
back.
They'll give it back.
It went to the
us.
magic kitchen
I'm
for a
sure,
minute.
I'm sure.
Okay.
Okay, and could I
There
get
it
that
is.
finished bit of slaw as well?
Yes,
Thank
you
you so
may.
much. Okay, this is an easy thing. People love slaw. This is a kind of a variation on a like a regular slaw. So what we're doing is we're taking some just regular cabbage. This is green cabbage. You core it
Mhm.
and then you just
Chop.
kind of chop it.
Now, this is not, cabbage is not like lettuce where you're not supposed to use a steel or metal knife on it. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
It's fine. Let me
It's-
see how
okay.
much of this, a half of cup. Let's see how much of our jicama. Oh, yeah.
Jicama.
We have a lot of jicama
You
here.
do.
Oh
I
my
like
God.
jicama.
I'm going to put a little bit of jicama in this
Bye,
bowl,
jicama.
bowl right down here because we really only need about a half a cup of
Okay.
jicama. So
Okay.
jicama is a root vegetable.
Mhm.
It's from Central America. You can get some from that. And so we're just really going to mix those together. And then I have some chopped green onions.
Mhm.
It has mostly green, but I also try to go down almost to the white
Yeah, I can
part,
see.
because that's really good.
But I like it because it gives it different colors.
And then we have some julienne carrots.
Mhm. Now, how do you do your julienne? Do you have like a slicer thing? You would get them that small?
Yes.
Okay.
I use a mandolin.
A mandolin.
Or
Okay.
you can actually do it
Okay.
just really carefully doing that. So then we have another lime here that you and I can work on
Yes,
the
we can.
lime. And while,
Mhm.
okay, I'll put that salsa over there. So we have all of our things there.
Bowls.
You get that
Okay.
going.
you.
I'll get that going. And then the only other things it's going to have in there is mayonnaise and
Okay.
some more cilantro.
I love it.
So isn't
Love,
that
love,
good?
love it.
So we'll throw
Oh,
that
you're
in
squeezing
there.
that baby
Okay,
in.
that feels
Okay.
good. Sure, I'll
Mhm.
take
There you
that
go.
for you.
Okay.
Lovely.
Mhm.
Okay, now let's see here. Let's get some
Okay.
mayonnaise. You want to put the mayonnaise
Yes,
in
sir.
there,
Let's get all of it.
and I'll put some of the cilantro
Okay.
in there. Lovely.
Okay. There we go.
And then I would say, let's get a little salt and
More salt and pepper.
more salt and pepper in there. We
Okay.
always need the salt and pepper,
Oh
do
my
we
God,
not?
that is so true.
That is one thing.
I always tell
that
people
we-
if you're going to cook like angel hair pasta, any type of pasta or potatoes, you have to use salted water.
you always need some
always.
of that.
That's from season 1. We talked about
That's from
that.
season 1.
Yeah.
All right, so now let's get this out of here.
Okay.
And then we're just going to toss all this together. So it's really the mayonnaise and the lime that are giving you the flavors on that. I made some a little earlier.
Mhm.
And so as it sits, it gives off a little bit of moisture from the cabbage
Mhm.
and gets a little bit softer at that point. So we're just going to toss that around there like so. Made some a little
Oh my
earlier.
gosh.
And here we go. We'll put that in there too. We'll mix that all together. And we have a beautiful
That is beautiful.
Lime-Jicama slaw. Look at that.
I love that. It's pretty.
So it
too.
really is. I mean, you could use this with any time that you would be serving
Yeah.
slaw. It doesn't have to be just that. It's
For the party or anything. It could be anytime.
anytime. All right, now
All
we
right.
have all our components.
Okay.
For that. Could I get my saute pan, please?
Saute pan.
Yes.
Okay. I just think which is a saute pan.
There we go. We're going to
Okay.
get this thing.
Oh,
We're going to get this thing rolling.
I
right
see
now.
flour. This is going to be fun.
I have another saute pan that I
Okay.
know they want to give me right there.
Another saute pan.
Oh,
It's
right.
right.
let's
Is
grab
this
our
it?
other- Yeah, that's
Okay,
it right there.
it's right here.
Good. Okay, we're going to get this one nice and hot. And then I'm going to get that all the way up hot. And then
Mhm.
this one, I'm just going to start to warm. This will be for our tortillas.
Okay.
Okay. Now we're getting into the heavy business.
All right. This is going to be fun. This is going to be an
All right,
adventure.
There we go.
Okay. I like adventures. We're adventurous.
Okay, I
here.
need a cutting board and
Cutting
I need my
board.
famous
Yes, you do. Here's your cutting board, dear.
cutting
you go.
board, ladies and
Oh
gentlemen.
my gosh. Here it comes.
And here we
Oh
are,
my gosh.
the beautiful rockfish, Chesapeake rockfish.
Mhm.
All right, so I'll just leave this here just for a second.
Just for a second. Okay.
All right, so while I'm doing this, I'm going to cut up some of
Okay.
this rockfish.
Okay.
Mary is going to season
Okay.
our flour,
Okay.
right, Mary?
Sure.
So Mary has all kinds
Oh,
of
all
lovely
sorts.
things
Oh,
there for you.
thanks. Ooh,
She has salt, she has cumin,
too.
garlic powder,
Oh my gosh.
chipotle powder,
Okay.
paprika,
Okay.
and cayenne pepper.
Okay.
Lots of things.
Lots of things.
Lots of things.
I like that. I
So
like a
Mary, you
little
can
bit more
use
of
that to
Right.
put it all
Mix it
together
all
there.
Together.
So what I'm going to do is cut up some of the rockfish.
I love pepper. Okay. That's a
Isn't that
beautiful.
beautiful?
It is beautiful. Oh, that smells good. That's like a hickory. kind of.
Rockfish is sometimes hard to get. We call it rockfish here in Maryland and around the Chesapeake, but it's actually a striped bass.
They're fairly large. I mean, that's a large piece of fish.
This is a big,
it's a
big,
big
extra
boy.
large rockfish. So we're going to do this. I'm cutting it into pieces so that we can fold it inside a taco. So you don't want great, big, huge pieces. You're going to be more like so. See?
Oh, like little chunks.
Yeah, like
almost.
just little chunks.
Okay.
So I'm
I like it.
cutting that up. Now, one of the things to remember, Mayor, and
Yes, sir.
everybody at
Mhm.
home, rockfish, especially right now, can be extraordinarily expensive.
Okay.
It just is. It's difficult to get sometimes and very expensive.
Mhm.
So a great alternative would be the blue catfish.
Oh, we talked about that
We
in an
talked
earlier
about-
episode. Yep.
For those of you that
Mhm.
watch us on a regular basis, you know how I
Mhm.
always am talking about the blue catfish, which is an invasive species.
Mhm.
And so there's too much of it in the bay. We need to
Okay.
get it out. And it is a wonderful eating fish. It really has a wonderful flavor. So you can do the same kind of chunks with the blue catfish, and it is way the hell cheaper. Trust me.
I like
way
it. I like
cheaper.
it.
So that's always a great alternative if you want to watch your
Mhm.
pocketbook and also still have something that's from the bay and doing some good things for the bay.
Okay.
All right, so great. So Mary has now made a basic seasoned flour. You do that for chicken, you do that for all kinds of things, but we're going to do it for our fish. So I'll put all that in
Okay.
here.
And do I use the fork to stir it, or do I just dredge it with my fingers?
Well, you could just drench it with your fingers. So
Okay.
I would probably just go
Go
like
like
that.
that. Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, this is kind of fun.
it's fun, isn't that nice?
Mhm, but I like finger painting and
It's
kindling.
kind of finger painting. It's all
It is. It's good.
it's all a little messy. So in the meantime, I'm getting this
Oil.
the oil nice and hot.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna wait for that to sizzle
Okay.
a bit. And over here, I have another pan. So I believe that they gave us some of our
They
tacos.
did. Beautiful.
So I have a couple of different kinds. So I have a corn tortilla
Uh-huh.
and I have a flour tortilla.
Okay.
So it really depends what you like and
Okay.
what where you're trying to go with that. So basically what I do is I'll often take a little bit of water
Mm-hmm.
and then you just want to put the tacos into pretty much a dry pan.
Okay.
You're just trying to heat them through. The same thing. Now, often what I'll do with a corn one, because when you're having a corn tortilla, really what it is it's masa corn,
Okay.
water, and lime. And
Oh.
so there's not much in there.
Okay.
So basically all we're going to do is heat those
Heat
through.
those.
And you can heat a bunch of them ahead of time. Put them in a towel, put them in the oven. And so then you're ready to go for when
When
your
the-
guests come. You can have a whole, we could say a whole enchilada, but we're not doing enchiladas. So,
Okay.
so we're doing that. Okay, let me see
Right.
how that's feeling. Okay, we got a little bit of sizzle there.
Okay.
Good.
Yes, we do.
So basically what you're going to do at that point is just put some of the rockfish in. We'll
Okay.
just put a few pieces in until it gets a little bit hotter, like so. And we're just going to cook it for, it's probably going to take 3 to 5 minutes to cook up some of
Okay.
these
It
things.
cooks very quickly then.
It does.
Okay.
It doesn't take a whole long period of time
Okay.
to do that.
Mhm.
So we'll get a couple more pieces in here,
Okay.
like so.
This is fun.
Now, the tortillas, when you're heating
Mhm.
those, you can do those with your hand. I mean, I have the pan just kind of medium hot,
Okay.
just a little bit warm.
So they're just really heating. They're not being fried. They're just
No, you
being
don't have to
warmed
do
up.
anything. You just
Okay.
warming them. Let me grab a little plate for us
Okay.
here, Mayor.
Here, let me put this back into the magic kitchen.
So that essentially what we would be doing
Mhm.
is just putting these in here. We just heated some up. I'll put another one in like so. And then I'm going to wet another of the corn
Very
tortillas.
cool.
It's just good to put a little bit of moisture back into this. It'll be much nicer.
I
So
like
you can
it.
see how these are browning up nicely
beautiful.
already.
Let me watch you turn. I don't turn mine very well, but that was only like maybe 2 minutes.
It is. It doesn't take very
Wow.
long at all.
And for those of you who are like me, I don't cook fish a lot except for salmon. I'm always intrigued by it because it looks so easy.
It is.
I mean, it really
is.
looks easy.
I mean, people get a little bit nervous
I do. Yeah.
about it. Now, the difference with rockfish or a striped bass from salmon, this is more dense.
True.
It's more meaty.
True.
So it is going to take a little bit longer to cook than a piece of salmon would. And the other thing about rockfish is you don't really specifically want it to be opaque. You
Okay.
want it to be cooked through. You don't want to overcook it, but
Okay.
you don't, you know how salmon, we sometimes, oh, I want that really rare.
Uh-huh.
Not so much with the rockfish.
Okay.
You're not really looking for that. So anyway, so we have those just going right
And then
there.
we have our
Okay, so now let's make believe we were putting together some of these lovely things. Okay, Mare, let's go. Why don't you put a little crema down?
Okay.
Spread a little crema
All right.
right there.
Let's
I
certainly
think
do
that
that.
looks good. Just a little bit on each one, about a
Okay.
teaspoon on each one.
Okay.
Because otherwise it'll come oozing
It
out.
will come, but
So
see,
if
I
you're,
like the
if you're
oozing
walking
out.
around
I like
the party and
oozing out.
it starts running down, didn't that go on your? Didn't that go on your?
It did. That's
your
why I'm not
blouse?
in any of the
I
photos.
knew something
I was
happened.
not, you
I
know,
remember.
Grace is not my middle
She's
name.
a fiend
I-
for guac.
Yes,
The
my
woman is
pretty
a
party
fiend
dress
for-
did not survive the
I
party.
know, I know.
I know. Next time.
Well, it happens.
And I am a fiend for guac. That is so true.
A
Anybody who
fiend?
knows me knows that is very true. All right. So we spread it
Okay,
around.
all right, next,
Okay.
let's do a little slaw,
Okay, little slaw. Let me get a spoon.
just a little bit.
Just a
We just
little
tr-
bit.
This part, we're just trying to get a little
Okay.
texture going on
A
here.
little bit.
Little bit, one more, and there you go, and you got it. Okay, beautiful. Lovely, lovely, lovely.
Notice John says a little bit of the salt, pinch the salt. I never give enough, but this I'll keep it on.
There we go. Now we got it. So if
Oh,
you
that's-
see, next thing I'm doing, I'm taking the rockfish out
Mhm.
and I'm putting it on paper towels. That's because we want to get rid
Drain
of a
it.
little bit of the excess oil.
Yeah.
Lovely, lovely, lovely.
I could never do a, what's it called when people make the plate looks really nice in a restaurant? When they present it, it looks really pretty, has a little raspberry design.
It's
or-
all
Yeah,
all
I
razzle
failed.
dazzle.
I got it on the
It's
plate.
the razzle dazzle part.
Okay.
Okay, so next, what we could basically be doing is just
Okay.
nestling in a couple of pieces of rockfish,
This looks so good.
like right in there,
Smells good too.
and it's hot.
It's hot.
It's hot,
It's a little hot.
by the way.
Oh my gosh.
And then you
put
just
the
want to take
salsa?
a little bit of salsa fresca right on
Oh my
top
gosh.
here. La 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 la.
That looks beautiful.
that pretty?
Yeah, it really is.
And then we take like so. We put a
Mm.
little bit more of that. And if you want, you could put just
A little dollop.
a little dollop, a little,
Oop. Oh, look at
that on
that.
there.
That's so cute.
and then you have a taco. Now you can also put all kinds of other things out there. Some hot sauces on your
Mhm.
thing. You can put some grated cheeses on there. You can do whatever you like. And I also suggest you do a bunch of different things. So we did chicken for people who don't like fish.
Chicken.
We did the jackfruit for people who are vegetarian. So you want to have
That's
something
beautiful.
for everybody. So there we go. We have our rockfish tacos. Look absolutely beautiful.
Beautiful.
And then I think we need to have a little bit of a dessert.
Dessert.
we have
Okay.
time
Do we
for
have
de-
time? I
Do
think
we
we
have
do.
time for dessert?
We're gonna make time.
No.
It's dessert. I'm from Baltimore.
Okay, can you give me the ones that are all made there for you
Okay.
guys?
Oh, yes. Here we go.
Okay, great.
Okay.
So anyway, one nice little easy thing to do for a dessert
Mhm.
is to take a little honey
Honey.
right there.
Oh, honey. Can't go wrong with honey.
And I'm going to take just a little tiny bit of honey. And it's like local cantaloupes and melons.
Mhm.
You brush it with honey, right?
Yes.
Put it on just a little bit of a skewer there. I'm going to take
Oh my
them
gosh.
and just roll them in toasted coconut. And you make a whole bunch of these
Okay.
and you got it.
You
You
do
got it.
have it. It's
So that's a whole
beautiful.
nother thing. Now we got some burger cookies
Oh,
and we
yes,
got some
do.
things from the local bakeries,
Mhm.
but this is a fun little thing to do
is.
for this summer. But you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it,
Mhm.
signature cocktail. That's one of the most
Okay.
important things.
Most
The
important thing.
Paloma, the strawberry Paloma. So we better get the goddess back
I
on,
think
the,
you
on the
should.
line.
Let me hold. Let me turn a little pony around.
Hello? Hello? Andrea. So we're having a great time over here in the kitchen recreating anything, but I totally forgot about the Paloma. Could you show us what to do? Okay, she's going to show us.
Awesome.
Started on that Paloma. I'm going to put you on Princess speakerphone. Hi, I'm Andrea Farnum, and I'm coming to you from my kitchen in Portland, Oregon, to show you how to make a fun, versatile, and easy cocktail called a strawberry Paloma. When John called me and asked me to come up with a drink for his party, I wanted to come up with something that was seasonal, that was easy to make, and could be made in batches. And the Paloma, the beauty of the Paloma is the simplicity. So the original recipe is basically lime juice, grapefruit soda, and tequila. That's it. And it's super refreshing. It's a great summer drink, but we're going to try to make it a little bit more spring seasonal. We're going to add strawberries to it. We're going to give it some color, and that'll just add to the festivities of the party. What we're going to start with is a pint glass. You can use a cocktail shaker if you like. I'm going to use the pint glass because you'll be able to see what I'm doing in the glass. First thing that we're going to do, though, is rim the glass. This is completely optional. I'm going to take a fresh grapefruit, just get some juices on the rim of this, and then I use some kosher salt. And there we go. And there we go. And that looks pretty cool. So leave that here. I'll be getting back to that. So we're going to take our grapefruit juice, freshly squeezed I'm using here, and we're going to about a quarter cup or so. And then we are going to take our tequila and add that to it. I'm using a tequila blanco. You can use any kind of tequila that you like. Actually, if you use a heavier tequila, you might want to change up your soda. You could use a heavier soda like a ginger ale or a ginger beer, but today we're using the blanco. And then I'm going to add some chopped strawberries that we're going to macerate. And strawberries are, depending on where they're grown, what the weather is like, what the ground is like, they can be more acidic or sweet or less acidic and sweet. So you're going to want to taste them. You're going to want to taste them. And what I did is I made a simple syrup, which is basically a cup of sugar, a cup of water, and some strawberries boiled down. And so now I have this beautiful garnet colored syrup to add to this, which will sweeten up my strawberries. You don't have to use this if you don't like. You can use a simple syrup without the strawberries in it, so just a plain simple syrup, or you can use agave nectar, which is a great choice, or honey. So now what we're going to do is we're going to mash up all of the juice, the tequila, and the strawberries, and the syrup, so that all the flavors are really nice and melded and yummy. Okay, now we're going to take our strainer, because we do not want these bits in here. Let's first put some ice. Ready to go. Voila. And we have this beautiful jewel colored juice. And we're going to top that off with a little bubbly club soda. And there you go. There is a beautiful strawberry Paloma. Cheers, Johnny.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Goddess, you did it. She did
This
it.
is amazing.
The strawberry Paloma. Now that was one of the hits
Oh, yes.
at the party. You know, the cheese and the Palomas, they totally were.
I
Cheers,
love it.
honey.
Cheers.
Ah.
Okay. Brings back memories.
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
that was one hell of a party.
Yes, it was.
And it was a hell of a party to close out season 2 of our Chesapeake Farm and Beta Table. So we're getting ready for season 3.
Well, we have one more episode, remember?
Yeah.
How much did you drink tonight?
Oh my God. What's
We
the
have one
next
more
one?
episode. Oh, no, we don't.
No, we don't. This
that's
was the
right.
last one. This is the very.
Oh, see,
how many you been drinking?
I don't know. It was olives.
What
I swear it was
the hotel bill's going on around here? Okay, we
Okay.
are starting season 3 in June.
Yes.
And in June, we're going to start it on June 8th. And we have a great special
Me
guest,
too.
Alicia Wilson. She's the VP of Economic Development at Johns Hopkins, and as our guest host. And so now the theme of this first show is ties that bind. Okay. And it's kind of talking about how recipes and sharing a meal at the table or a picnic bring everybody together as a family. One of the great things about Alicia is she does mentor program, and she works with a lot of kids, young kids. And it started during the pandemic, and they all came and they wanted to do things. So she started cooking classes with them. So they're going to come with us. We're going to go to the farmer's market, and we're going to have like the best time ever. So we're going to do 3 recipes on that show. So we're going to do this kind of African inspired sweet potato and peanut soup.
Okay.
And since it's, you know, thinking about around June 13th and picnics and families getting together, we're doing deviled eggs. Okay.
Okay.
Every family has their favorite deviled egg recipes, and we're going to show you ours. And then one of the things the kids are really excited about, we're going to make beignets
Oh,
from scratch with
wow.
yeast and with every kind of dip and sauce you can think of. So I hope that everybody that's out there tonight that watched has had a good time, because I had a good time. I had a great time at that party. So Mary and I always, when we finish one of these here shows, we encourage all of you, our viewers, to share the information about Chesapeake Farm and Bay to Table with your friends, your family, with your communities. I mean, you can put it on the Facebook, the Instagram, the Twitter. I don't know all of them that are out there. Are we on a TikTok yet?
TikTok.
I got to look that up.
We have to do
We got to
TikTok.
look that
John.
up. So anyway, just keep at that and get the word out, because, you know, we're having such a good time visiting with you. We love that you come in to our kitchen and hang out with us. It's a privilege. It really is. So, and every time we do any of these things, we have so many people to thank. We always like to thank the Maryland Department of Agriculture for all their support. And we also like to let viewers and everybody know about their Maryland's Best program. It's a great resource to find out what's local, where the farmers markets are, information, and you can get to that at www, that means World Wide Web, marylandsbest.net. And we also want to thank, as always, the Harford County Public Library team. You're amazing. For this show, we want to thank Andrea Farnum and her daughter, Veronica Walls, who actually taped all her sessions. Shannon and Jim Egan for their home opening up to us. John Carroll of Carroll and Sons Fine Foods. Chef Ed Knott from Gertrude's for that terrific guacamole.
Yes.
Kate Dallum of Broom's Bloom Dairy for those cheeses. Dave Hockheimer of Black Rock Orchard for the strawberries. Dimitri from Dimitri's Olive Oil for all this. Look at that. Look at all the olive oils we got there. Fresh squeezed. And then we have Dan Miller of Charlottetown Farm for that pimento cheese that I love,
that people love.
and of course to our Common Table production team who make so much of this possible every week. So to all of you, we want to thank you so much for being part of Chesapeake Farm and Bay to Table, for coming in here, for sharing our recipes with everybody. We do have the recipes that will be coming to you. They're on the World Wide Web. And also, while you're hearing me wind down, do not disconnect, because we have a lovely question and answer period that's coming up right now. And we hate when anybody unplugs early, because then I have to look you up. I'll stalk you, whatever has to happen. So Mayor, are you ready for our Q&A? And if you have any questions for the goddess, I can channel her and I can get an answer for you.
I love it, love it. And don't forget, you do have the recipes when you registered. You received them from the library at hcplonline.org. And again, thank you for being with us. We are so excited to be in pre-production for season 3.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right, let's get to the questions. So Jason would like to know, hi, John.
Hi.
Hi. What recipes are you excited to make once the right produce is at the farmer's market?
Well, you know, that evolves every week, Jason. You know, I go to the farmer's market every Saturday. And so the recipes constantly are changing. You know, like I like making things that might not seem springy, but I like kale, like let's say kale soups or kale salads. When you're getting the kale in the spring, it's very tender. So you don't have to use that as much like in stews and stuff. You can use it for salads and all kinds of different things like that. Obviously, we're getting even more greens. The arugula is just coming in, which I go crazy for. And then we have also a lot of fruit that's just starting to come in. Dave Hockheimer got me the strawberries. They're coming in from North Carolina right now, but in another week, they're going to be all Maryland strawberries. So my recipes kind of go by what I'm going. I love making soups, stews, salads, and dessert. So we got plenty going there right now for that.
We do. And strawberries, that's right. Strawberry season's upon us. Okay. Anne would like to know, is there a gluten-free way to prepare the rockfish?
If there's who?
Gluten-free.
Gluten-free, absolutely. You know, we do this sometimes at Gertrude's at the restaurant when people, you know, request that. So there's all kinds of really good gluten-free flour mixes now.
Mhm.
In the early days, it was kind of, oh, I don't know about that, but they're really, really good. So you can do the same kind of thing of seasoning that flour,
Mhm.
and then it can be gluten-free. One of the other things that I was thinking about earlier today, probably when I was in the shower and I think about all these things, another way to do the rockfish, we could brush it with the olive oil,
Okay.
or put it with the flour and then mist it with olive oil and put it in the
Oven.
air
Oh,
fryer.
air fryer. We love the air
Hello,
fryer.
we love
Oh
it.
my gosh.
So there will be a special coming out, our John and Mary air fryer
fryer.
special.
Mhm.
But until that time, that's another thing that you could do with that. You could also bake the rockfish,
Okay.
brush it with olive oil, put some seasonings on it, put it in the oven, and then you can just chop it into pieces. And
Oh.
that way you didn't even have to put any flour on it at all.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I know the rockfish came from one of your recipe books.
It
It
did.
did. Oh,
Absolutely.
back here.
Yeah. So the whole taco thing that we have here
Okay.
is from the new Chesapeake
There you
kitchen.
go.
So if you ever need to know a lot of the recipes that we do on the show are in here.
Yeah.
And as well as, you know, we tried to make this book pretty seasonal. So when Jason was asking, what do I like to
Mhm.
cook in season? This kind of goes through
Perfect.
seasons.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, James would like to know, for one of the sessions, would you consider doing low sodium recipes for those of us who live with cardiac patients? They can't have salt. And we could use some good suggestions. Well, I don't know, James, you might want to notice I use a little salt, and
Yeah.
John uses the chef kind of measurement of salt.
I go a little bit higher, but actually this September, we're going to be doing kind of a plant forward, heart healthy program. And it's something that I do myself because I had some heart issues in the past.
Mhm.
So I'm really, like at the restaurant, we're really careful about, we do all kinds of vegetable soups,
Mhm.
vegan soups. We use low sodium in there, but they're still full of flavor, and we can give you some great tips. A lot of it is all with kind of citrusy kinds of things, textural kinds of things, and herbs. So you can get some amazing food. It doesn't have to have a lot of sodium, and it doesn't have to have a lot of fat. So it can be heart healthy and absolutely delicious.
Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing. So we have the rockfish, and they're
Uh-huh.
from this cookbook.
Yep.
What else would complement this type of dish if you're making it at home? And James would like to know that question too.
Well, you know,
Or
you
that
could
answer.
you could do, when we're looking at this kind of thing, I always look at this as a plant forward kind of thing. Most of the
Mhm.
things, you got corn, you got the cabbage, you know, you have the avocado, you have the salsa. We just have a little bit of protein with that,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
So already you got something that's pretty healthy. What else would I put with this? I would do some steamed rice, maybe
Oh.
with some tomato, a little
Okay.
cumin in that
Okay,
as well, some black beans, some
Ah.
simmered black beans. So you could have all that on the table with the rice, the beans, all of these. You got a complete meal, and it hits every protein component of bringing it together.
Well, that's fabulous. Well, I think that's it for the questions tonight.
Well,
Thank-
once again,
Thank
thank you all
you.
so much. And thanks for hanging out with us in
Mhm.
season 2 of Chesapeake Farm and Bay to Table. And we're looking forward to seeing you next month
Mhm.
right here in our very own kitchen. And we'll keep on cooking. So get out there and get your pots and pans, and I'll meet you here next month.
Good night.
Night.